Let's talk about the causes of test anxiety. Why do you get anxious before a big test? Often, our anxieties are rooted in a fear. In this case, that could be a fear of failing or of not doing as well as you'd hoped. You may also be running through the possibilities of what could happen if you don't achieve your goal. That can lead to catastrophic thinking, where your brain leaps from one unpleasant scenario to an even more dire situation, and on and on. I won't do well on this exam, and therefore I won't get into college, and then I won't get a good job, and then I won't be able to support myself. You can find yourself spiraling, but you can stop that process before it gains momentum. For starters, never underestimate the power of breathing. You know how when you're relaxed, you tend to take a nice big breath? Well, that can work the other way around too. When you take nice, big breaths, you can make yourself more relaxed. If you feel your anxiety start to escalate, harness your focus and concentrate it entirely on deep breaths. After a few of these, you should start to feel your heart rate slowing down, and you should be able to refocus on the problem at hand. And that leads me to part 2. Part of what can make all of us feel overwhelmed is focusing on the totality of any task. If you find yourself starting to do this, stop. Don't think about the mountain you've got to climb. Think about where you're putting each foot next. You don't try to solve the whole problem at once. You work it in one manageable piece at a time until you tackle the whole thing. Now let's say that you've been pressed for time from the beginning. One of the strategies we encourage you to adopt is to complete each section according to your personal order of difficulty. Take the easy test first, folks. If you do all the questions you know how to answer and rack up those points, and then spend more time on the moderately challenging questions and rack up those points, then if you run out of time on finishing those last few questions, just guess and call it a day. There are 2 lessons I hope you've gleaned from this video. First, an extra moment to study yourself is time well spent. And second, knowledge is an antidote to anxiety. If you have strategies for approaching even the most intimidating problems, you will be well on your way to maximizing your scores, and more importantly, to feeling good about what you're doing.